Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Jillian. I'm super excited about today's video. We have an amazing guest with us. His name is Niell. He has been juicing for almost 150 days, which is absolutely amazing. So we are going to have a great conversation today, all about his experience, his weight loss, the spiritual aspect of it, mucoid plaque, everything. So you'll want to stick around to the end. It's going to be an amazing interview. So let's get started. Say hello to Niell. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you, Gillian?
I'm good, thanks.
That's such a super amazing introduction, by the way.
Oh, you deserve it. I mean, you deserve even more. You're incredible.
No.
We first met on Instagram and you are so inspiring. So congratulations on this juice cleanse.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you
what
so much.
inspired you to do this, to set out to do 150 days?
See, it's funny because at the beginning, sorry, let me just shut my window. So at the beginning of my juice fast, actually, before I even considered a juice fast, I started watching a lot of John Rose's videos, and he's been, juicing for such a long period of time, and the way he speaks is just like so powerful, and what he's talking is like so loud that you just can't ignore. So like over time, this idea just kept playing in my head, and I thought, is it a sign that I just need to just go on like a long detox and just like, because it just kept playing, it was just sitting there for such a long time. But 40 days before I started my juice fast, I didn't even know I was going to start my juice fast when I did. So 40 days before, I removed processed foods out of my diet and also refined sugars. And then I started consuming a lot of good food and just like raw food. And it's like my body was just craving all these like natural foods, and like slowly and slowly, my cravings for other things just eliminated. And then so when I got to the end of my 40 days of, removing the refined sugars and the processed foods, I then thought, what, I'm just gonna go for it. But the one biggest thing that was stopping me from doing it before was just like the weight loss. And I just didn't want to lose weight. I had this obsession with like gaining weight, and this probably stems from when I was younger, growing up, and I was very, very skinny. So whenever I tried to put weight on, it was like I couldn't see that person. I couldn't see that new person. I could only see that old person that was still slim. So I was putting weight on. I've been up to about 15 stone. Now I'm all the way down to like 10 stone 2. So it's like a big jump, big difference, but this was over years. But yeah, so John Rose, that's what made me start my juice fast.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's super inspiring. I agree with you. And what day are you on today? So you're quite close to the end of the 150 days.
Yes, I'm on day 143 at the moment.
I mean, this is incredible. I love juice cleansing. The longest I went was 37 days, and I've done some interviews with some other people as well. But I don't think I've ever met anybody who has gone as long as you. I think it's incredible. Like, this is almost half a year, right?
I know, it's crazy because it's like, I didn't even set out to do this long. I only set out to do 7 days just to kind of trial it out, just play with the idea, see how it is. And then what was more shocking was how much waste was coming out. And I was thinking, well, I've never had a break from eating before in my life. I've never had any sort of a detox. So when I had that break away from eating food and I was still going to the toilet, it's like a light bulb just came on, and it's like, this isn't right. What's like, why am I still going to the toilet and I haven't even eaten? So then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just go a little bit longer. And then I ended up going a bit longer. And then I had this, ultimately my goal was after the seven days, I was gonna do 30 days. And then when I got to about 12 days, I already said I was gonna do 60 days. So because it was already planted in my head, I was just gonna go. I was just gonna go until I felt clean. And that's just how it's been ever since. It's just like, I just got this desire just to get clean.
Yeah, that's a great
and it's just like
for it.
Yeah, and it's just like everything just makes so much sense. So much sense, that clarity that you get the longer you go, the deeper you go. And I genuinely believe it.
And you look amazing. Isn't it incredible too how much waste can be inside of us, especially even for you, that shows after such a long juice cleanse that there's still so much solid waste coming out of it.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
even
it's crazy. It's like when I first started my juice fast, I was actually 12 stone 6. And within that first maybe 7 days, I lost that 6 pounds. And it's just crazy. It's just so crazy. So crazy. But the more I've like, obviously the longer I've gone on my juice fast, the more I've kind of just like researched in a little bit more. And it's like those theories that were always around, I've kind of had real life experiences from them and I can kind of relate to them. But there's some things and it's just like, no, that doesn't make sense. Because I've got my own experience now. I've got my own truth. So it's like, I can discover things for myself. It's such an amazing journey. Like, I just can't give it enough credit.
It is. And I mean, you don't really know how it is until you actually do it for yourself. Like I said, I've done 37 days. And honestly, it was the best 37 days of my entire life. It was like, I mean, to live and not experience a juice cleanse like this, it's just, I love the experience.
It's amazing. It's so good.
So how is the experience different for you on, say, day 30 versus now?
Good question. I think when I was at like day 30, I think I still had that relationship with the old foods that I was eating. So when I got to day 30, I always thought, oh yeah, when I finish my juicing, I'm still gonna have the same foods that I was eating, but maybe not just as often. But now it's like, I don't want them. I don't want them at all.
And how exactly were you eating before?
So my diet before was pretty, I say it was good, but I think it was bad. So when I was eating good, I was eating really good. And when I was eating bad, I was eating bad. So I was vegan anyway. Like I was plant-based for the last 5 years. And within that last 5 years, I've been on a raw diet. I've been on a fruit-based diet for like 6 months. And then obviously now it's just like, from after that time, it was a bit different where I was lentils, the beans, the grains, the rice, that sort of stuff, the processed foods, the processed vegan foods that you get in the stores, making salads, smoothies, juices. So it was like an array of different things, snacks, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd eat a lot. That's my problem. I'd eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
And this is like been a game changer for me because it's like I can consume juice and I can be well fueled. So I don't get hungry. I say that I need to be refueled.
And you have so much more energy, right? When I cleanse, I have more energy than ever before. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, I have so much energy, but there's times I can't lie and say that I'm always full of energy because there's times where it's like my body just needs to rest because sometimes I come out and break out. I've probably got a few spots on my forehead because it's the toxins still in my body. So I've got work to do. I don't think it's just a quick fix because ultimately we've been eating the same way. We've been eating a certain way ever since we've been born. And it's like you've been brought into a certain diets and stuff like that. So I think we've got a lot of damages to, heal from. But ultimately, I feel like this is the fast track to get in there.
I agree. And I mean, it's quite unusual to do juice cleanse like this. I am all into it. I love it. I love following your experience. But so many people think like, oh, I could never do that. You're not getting enough nutrients. I would die. Oh my God. Right. So what do you say to people who say things like that?
Try it for yourself and stop listening to other people because, ultimately we come here alone, we go alone. We are one, but you have to have your own experiences because there's always going to be an opinion to anything you do. Anything you do, someone's always going to have opinion. And the only thing I say is not everyone's going to like you. You can be the nicest person in the world, not everyone's going to like you. And I feel like you just have to find your own truth. You have to find your own truth. I know that some people it doesn't resonate with certain people, like doing juices, and that's okay, that's fine, but it resonates with other people. And I feel like even if it resonates with one other person and they do a juice fast and they share their experience, ultimately it will just keep continuing and the cycle will just keep going, and it will grow and grow and people will just start healing. And then there's going to be people documenting their own journey. So I feel like my job is done when I'm documenting my stuff, but I will still continue to document my stuff.
Yeah. And I know like with the juice cleanse like this, it totally changes your vibration and your energy, right? It's such a spiritual.
Yeah.
So have you noticed, I know a lot of people find their relationships change. Like I know one girl ended up getting a divorce and just this awakening with her juice cleanse. Have you had, if you don't mind sharing, any changes in relationships or things like that?
I think the biggest thing that I've kind of realized is that while I've been on this journey, I've kind of just seen how people are, like the truth in how people are and how people operate. And it's like it's not a case of my relationships change with people. I guess going on any sort of a detox is a detox not only for, you know, physically, but it is mentally and it's spiritually. So it comes all as one. And I think that, you know, you start to realize things. And I can't say that my relationships change with people. I'd just say my relationships change with the foods that I've been eating and that old life that I used to live. Like, I don't want to consume, I don't want to be around people that are just like negative. That's just gonna, I feel vulnerable right now. Like, because I feel like my energy is heightened. And I feel like I just can't be around the things that I used to be around. Not saying that I'm around bad things, but like maybe I won't hang around with my friends so often. I have to take a little bit of a step back and just, you know, be mindful.
Definitely, because your vibrations change too. It's like if lower vibe
100.
TV shows were on or something like that, you probably have no interest in even being around that, right?
Yeah. I mean, even before like my juice fast, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. If anything, I'll watch like YouTube channels or like a quick video, but I always find myself online researching. I'm always down the rabbit hole, just researching loads of different things. And yeah, that's it really. And I read. So it's not something, if anything, it's just like made it even heightened. There's like, I just don't want to, there's nothing there for me. Watching things, nothing there for me. I'll watch a movie now and then, but I'm always like, what movie is it first? What is it about? Because I feel like I'm not wasting time, but it's like, it's not doing anything for me.
Yeah, I agree. Same here. So I want to ask, what have been the most positive changes? Like, what have been your favorite parts of this juice cleanse or the main?
Favorite part. I think I have a few. I think like it's funny because before my juice fast, I thought life was great. Life was, you know, amazing. But it's like day and night, the difference of like doing a juice fast, especially for this long as well, because the deeper you go, it's like you just see things in a different light. It's like my life is totally different. It could be the same to an outside view, but it feels completely different. And every day I wake up, I'm just happy. I don't have no stress. I'm not stressed about anything. The only stress that I have is if I cut a piece of fruit and it's moldy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or if I pick a bad watermelon.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know, like I think there's so many. I think there's so many. I don't know. I couldn't even pick one.
Yeah.
I couldn't even pick one.
Your sleep has probably been really good, right?
Yeah, but like my sleep was good before as well.
Yeah.
I feel one thing I will say though is like I feel really light. So I feel I remember my dreams. I remember my dreams very, very well. And I feel like because I go to sleep and I am empty, haven't got any like obstructions, any blockages inside of me, I'm able to feel and I'm able to see things for what they are. There's like, not even gonna say perfect, but there's a great flow.
That's amazing.
And I think as well, I would say that just influencing other people to, you know, start a juice fast, I think that's probably one of the main things for me. Like receiving messages from people saying, oh, you know, they've been following my page or they've come across my page and they're so happy they saw it. I've just started my juice fast. Sometimes I get messages from people saying, I was about to have such and such today, but I just saw you in my head. And it's like, I never had that anymore. And I was like, but it feels good. It feels good to be able to share my journey and just like, there's obviously so many people that need help in so many different ways. And it's like, I'm able to be that catalyst to change. And I feel like my journey is so much bigger than me. Because now other people will see me and people, especially people that know me, that knew that, you know, once upon a time I used to eat so much meat. Once upon a time I used to drink alcohol. And now I don't do any of these things anymore. And if somebody turned around to me and says, oh, you know, one day you're gonna, you know, go 100+ days and not eat no food, I'll be like, yeah, right.
Right. I think it's incredible. And I love, you were talking about your Instagram and messages from people, things like that. I love your Instagram. Your page is one of
Thank you.
my favorite pages to follow. You are so inspiring. I will link it below
Thank
for everyone to check out because it's amazing. You're so inspiring.
thank you very much. You know what? It's like I love receiving messages like that, but it's like it feels even better because you know when you're just being you
Yeah.
and I'm always just me. And I know that some of the stuff I do share is a bit gruesome, and I know some people don't want to see it, but I feel like that's just my right. That's just what I have to do to show people this is what's actually inside of you. Because we all get grossed out, like, oh, like, you know, I don't want to see that. But it's just the reality. And I feel like me showing these things and just showing the different aspects of, you know, juicing and my journey, I feel like it just resonates differently with different people.
Definitely. And I
Yeah.
want to know too, with your juice cleanse, like how have you stayed motivated? Because so many people think they can't even do 3 days or 7 days or 10 days. Like how, because you didn't do a juice cleanse at all before this, you said, right? No.
No,
So,
no,
I mean, what has kept you motivated and stopped you from quitting? Have you ever felt like quitting on it?
no.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I think anything I set my mind to, I just do it. And I feel like the biggest thing that even though I put on my name, like how many days I'm gonna go, ultimately I'm very, very present in my journey. So I'm not thinking too far ahead. I'm not thinking, oh, I've got 5 weeks left. Oh, I've got 2 weeks left. I've got 10 days left, because it makes the journey seem longer. And I always say, be present, be present, enjoy every moment, not just about juicing, but just in life in general. Like every moment, just take it as it is. It's like sometimes you turn around and be like, oh, the year's gone fast. But it's because we're looking at the end of the month or an event, or but we're not being present in every single day. So it's just important to be present, enjoy what you're doing, make the most of your day. The most amazing thing about today is that we're never gonna have this day again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So we might have a similar day, but it's never going to be the same. So I think the reason why I've been so motivated to carry on is because I'm just being present in my journey and I'm not thinking too far in the future.
That's great. And that's good advice for somebody, looking to do a cleanse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your
Mm,
skin, I mean, I have to say your skin looks absolutely amazing. It is glowing,
thank you.
right? Have you noticed a big difference in your skin on the cleanse?
Only when I look back at pictures.
Yeah.
Only when I look back at pictures, I do. I do.
Yeah. It
It's
looks
got to be the juices.
yeah. So also you have talked a lot on your page about mucoid plaque, right?
Hmm.
So I would love for you to share with the viewers what mucoid plaque is and your experience on this cleanse with removing
Hmm.
mucoid plaque, because it's such a huge
Hmm.
thing so many people don't know about.
Yeah. So mucoid plaque is it's almost like a rubbery texture, and it's like old fecal matter and it's like mucus combined together, and over the years and years and years through bad combinations of food and eating, it forms and it sticks together. So some people have great big ones, some people might have small ones, but ultimately I think we all have it. And the only reason why I knew about it is because John Rosa talked about it, and then I started to research deeper into what it actually is. So I know that on my journey, sometimes I'll be looking in the toilet thinking, oh, I think that's it. I think that's it. Until one day I was like, no, that's it. So basically it's just mucus. It could be a mix of parasites as well, fecal matter mixed together, combined together in like it's all just stuck together. It's just horrible stuff,
Yeah,
basically.
from eating like processed foods and improper foods that our bodies weren't intended to eat over the years, right? And kind of like a product
Yeah,
that we can get in our mouth, we can get that on our colon as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it just, it can be anywhere inside of you, but ultimately I think we all just have like bad stuff inside of us.
Yeah.
And
And
it's not no fault to our own. I always like highlight this, like it's not our fault. I think it's just, what's kind of been pushed,
mhm.
how we should eat. And it's like for me, my big transition on my way of thinking and seeing things is when I turned vegan and I started going to like a supermarket, and then you just see like how many people run towards the meat, and it's like, I don't even eat this no more. It's just like there's so much other food in this shop. Like, why do we all do that? And then that's like when my eyes really truly open.
Yeah, absolutely. So you, with mucoid plaque, you've removed a lot of mucoid plaque on the cleanse,
I
right?
have, yeah.
I think
But
people,
it didn't all come out at like one time. Like it came out in different times, and sometimes what I realized is it comes out in layers. Like even the waste in general, sometimes it'd be like it looks different to like last week's, and it's really really weird. But ultimately, I do use like herbs. I always preach about I use herbs in the fruits, because with the fruits, they, even though they're very astringent, they do pull a lot of the stuff out of the colon. But when you use herbs as well, it's almost like it drags stuff out. So when you've got them both together, they work very well together, and you're able to get deeper and deeper. So I think back to your first question when you were saying, what's made me continue to go on for such a long period of time. I think also because I know that I'm getting deeper and deeper in, and I feel even better as I keep going along. It's like, why would I want to stop? Why would I want to stop this great feeling so great? To me, it makes no sense.
Yeah. And with mucoid plaque too, I think a lot of people don't realize it's not, from my experience, it's very hard to get that out when you're eating. I mean, from my experience, I've only seen people get that out on juice cleanses.
Juices.
I've heard of some people getting it out on their watermelon cleanse as well. But did you, I noticed, I think you started removing more mucoid plaque when you were juicing watermelons, right? Am I correct?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if I started removing a lot from the watermelon, but I just know that I've gone through a period of time I've just consuming watermelon. So I'm on like 8 weeks now of just watermelon juice.
Yeah.
But I think what you were just saying about, people removing most of that on just juices alone, it's because there's no obstruction of food that's going inside. So when you just give your body the rest from digestion, because when you're eating food, you're still digesting it. And then you just replace it with juices that are able to go exactly where it needs to go without any form of energy going there to digest or break it down. That energy then can be used in other parts of your body to heal. So you are able to push things through a lot better because there's just no obstruction.
Yeah. Which is essentially one of the greatest benefits of a juice cleanse, because you're taking, your body spends more energy on anything digesting food, right? So you're getting from the juice, and then your body can focus on healing other things.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any other things heal? Like I noticed for me when I'm juicing or cleansing, my vision is better and other things start to heal. Like have you had that experience at all on the cleanse?
It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like my eyes are getting a bit better. I do wear contact lenses and glasses. My eyes do feel like they're getting a bit better, but I think ultimately, I think from maybe about day 90, I started to actually realize and started seeing like improvements in places. Maybe because I wasn't really suffering before. I almost felt like I got myself out of a rut that I never knew I was in. Because all that stuff that was coming out, I've had so much stuff come out, and it's just like, I must have been on the verge of dying.
Crazy, right? It's crazy what can
Seriously.
be. It's crazy. And once you get into it and start cleansing, I mean, it's such a beautiful, amazing experience, and it opens up a whole new world and a whole new life.
I think, like with the benefits of like seeing changes, I think the major changes that I've experienced for myself is just like my spirituality and my mentality. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed for myself. And I feel like I'm almost getting some sort of detached from, not saying detached from my physical, but I don't really care. Like when I say to you about like, putting the weight on and stuff, I really don't care. I just like, I have this thing of, I just want to get to the highest heights.
Exactly.
And it just comes naturally. You just want to.
Yeah.
Because you feel so good.
That's what I love the most about the cleanses. It's just the most amazing spiritual experience you can have. It's incredible.
Yeah. And even with the juices, like my partner, she passed away.
Oh, wow.
And she suffered with she was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer.
Wow,
and just tell you a quick story. This is how powerful like natural healing is. So she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and then they wanted to give her chemo. She had her first chemo session. It left her paralyzed from the waist down. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Then from that, because her cancer was so aggressive, they wanted to do a double mastectomy. So she had a double mastectomy, and then she went back to having chemo again. Then she ended up being very, very sick. So she ended up staying in the hospital for about a month. And then because she wasn't getting any better, she then moved to a hospice. A hospice over, I don't know if it's the same over there, but a hospice is like end of life. That's where you go away, And she ended up staying in the hospice for 5 months, within these 5 months, I started making a juices. So I have been juicing a long time before, but not for me. So I was making her juices every single day. So at this point, her hair, she had no hair. She wasn't able to walk. She was on a lot of medication. And through juices and just like eating raw foods, she actually walked again.
Wow.
Her hair grew longer, and she actually came out of the hospice, and she was better than she was when I first met her.
I've heard so many stories like that. Well, that's amazing. That's great. You were
So
able
when
to help with that.
yeah, so when you see like miracles like that, I think that the seed's already been planted. So that seed was planted a very long time ago, and I feel like my passion is just like natural healing. That's when the spark plug was, was hit me when I saw that happen, and I thought there's other ways of healing, natural ways of healing.
Absolutely.
And it makes sense. And even now, like nobody can even understand the body. Nobody can understand the body. Like doctors and nurses don't understand the body. And I just feel like, you have some sort of medication and it will just block the receptors, but you don't actually know what's going on, but the body can heal anything it wants.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Providing that the environment is good enough.
Absolutely. Very well said. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, I want to ask you, with the juice cleanse, were you making all your own juices every day? Like, did you do it yourself? Because a lot of people think this is so much work. So how many roughly were you drinking a day, and sort of what were your juices?
Sorry, what was the last thing you just said?
What kind of juices were you drinking too?
Okay, so up until day 50, I was making all my juices literally as I go along, because we were in lockdown, so I was at home. And so whenever I wanted a juice, I'll just go to the juicer, make a juice, and then it would just be ready for me. So I was having at least 4 liters a day at that point. And I know John Rose says, you need to have at least 4 liters. But what I do know is that the more juices you do consume, the faster you'll be able to detox. So at that point, I was having apple and ginger juice is very, very nice. That's probably one of my favorite juices, apple and ginger. I was having orange juice, I was having pineapple juice, I was having grape juice, honeydew melon juice.
Wow. How do you juice honeydew? That's one thing I've never juiced. You just...
Yeah, it's a bit like a watermelon. You just, take the rind off if you want to take the rind off, and then just pull it straight through. It might be a bit loud though, because it's a bit hard on the outside. But yeah, I was doing that. And then when I got to day 50, I then brought some mason jars. But the reason why I was juicing as I was going along at the beginning is because your juices start to oxidize within 15 minutes, depending on the juicer that you have. And the juicer that I have is a fast one. So it starts to oxidize very fast. So it's better to consume them as soon as you make them. But now I'm at the point where it's just like, I'll juice them in the morning, I'll put them in the fridge, and then I'll drink them throughout the day.
Yeah. And you've been able to function properly, right? I know a lot of people think on a juice cleanse, I need to just rest and be at home in bed. You cannot live. And I mean, that's so opposite from how it is. So you've been doing your thing, right?
It's completely opposite. Completely opposite. I was working out a little bit at the beginning, and I was like working out every day, like at the gym. I was running. I was doing a lot, and I haven't been doing it on the juice fast because when you're detoxing, you don't want to add like more toxins in your body, like through lactic acid. So there'll be a buildup of acids in your body. So, and you can't rebuild the body and detox the body at the same time. It's one or the other. So my thing is just to not work out, but I've still been able to do everything I was doing before, even at a higher capacity. So the fact of, not being able to do certain things, that's why I always say you have to try it for yourself, because you'll hear a lot of stuff, but ultimately you don't hear a lot of people that do juice fast, especially for a long period of time. You normally hear, 7 days, 2 weeks, 30 days max, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's only been on social media that I've actually found people that have gone past these dates. So it's like, you can very much do it. And I think we're our own limitation. We can talk ourselves out of anything we want to do.
I agree. And that's why I
anything.
think on a juice cleanse too, it's important to juice feast and not fast. Like you were saying, like
Mm.
drink a lot, right? Then I think it's way more easier to stay on it. If you let yourself get so hungry, it's easier to just talk yourself out of it, right?
I think that's where people fall off when they start to get hungry. And I always say preparation is the key,
It is.
because if you wake up early, you can wake up early enough. We can all wake up early enough, even on a night time if you really need to, like make your juice for the next day. There's no excuse really. You can do it. We can all do it. Just preparation is the key.
Mhm.
Preparation is the key.
And do you
True.
think you will extend the 150 days? Do you think you will go any longer than this?
I think I will. I think it's going to be 160 only because I plan to do a colonic,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like I want to get I want to be as clean as possible for the colonic. I don't want to have any sort of an obstruction of food
Hmm.
before my colonic, and it's just interesting. I just want to. It's kind of my little own experiment. I want to go to the. I want to just get a colonic and see how much cleaner I can get and
Absolutely.
how much is still inside of me. Because
Yeah.
if I start eating, it'll be hard for me to tell. So I think I've gone long enough to see if I go there and loads of stuff starts coming out, I know that I was severely backed up.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear how your results are from the colonic because you've never had a colonic before at all, right?
No, I've done enemas. I do enemas often. Um, and that was something I didn't really want to do
Hmm.
because I don't want to go up the back end and put something in. So that was my big thing of like I didn't want to do it, but I thought, you know what? I think it's just part of the whole experience. So I think I'm just gonna go for it. And I
Yeah.
had to go for it.
I think
And
during
now I love it.
I think during a cleanse it's good. It really helps you clear things out more during a cleanse.
It does. And I
Like,
think from my first experience of doing it and just realizing and seeing how much actually came out,
mhm.
it made me think, you know what? It's bigger than my emotions right now.
Yeah.
So let me just go for it. And now I just like, I do it religiously.
So I'm wondering too, a lot of people ask when I'm juicing, do you take supplements? Have you been taking any supplements on the juice cleanse or no? A lot of people I know take
Um,
in the cleansing.
at, at the beginning, I think I was a bit confused. So I was taking like protein, like plant-based protein stuff. And I was like trying to build at the same time and it just couldn't happen.
Yeah.
So then I put that down and then I supplement with like now I've been supplementing with like the greens, like the spirulina, the moringa, chlorella, wheatgrass, that sort of stuff. But then I also do take herbs as well. So I guess it is a supplement. But it's just kind of to aid my journey.
Hmm.
But with the green supplements that I take, I don't I wasn't taking them before. I was taking them before, but then I stopped. And I'm only taking them now because my weight has actually been stabilized. I haven't lost any weight for the last 27 days. So I feel like my body is now starting to rebuild itself again because I've still been going to the toilet, but I haven't lost any weight.
Hmm.
But it's
Exactly.
at the exact same weight. And I got some really good body weight scales that kind of weigh a lot of components of different types of weights. So I can get to see like what's actually going on.
Hmm. That's
So
amazing.
that's yeah, so like my weight's staying the same now. And
Yeah.
I've always had this feeling like they say that when you get clean enough, your body then starts to rebuild itself like back to normal. So my thing is, in my head, I've been thinking, well, if my body starts to rebuild itself, will I start eating straight away? Because it's like that's the only thing that's kind of stopping me, like, because I enjoy juicing.
Hmm.
I really enjoy juicing. And it's crazy that nature created foods that you just don't get bored of because I'm on watermelon juice. I drink watermelon juice every day for the last 8 weeks. Yet every day I'm excited to have a watermelon juice. Every day. And it's like that first sip I take is like I've never had it before.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's just amazing. I
What an
can't talk about juicing enough.
Yeah, and you gotta think like with how long you've gone. I think in the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I'm pretty sure he did 60 days. And I mean,
Yeah, he did.
this is unbelievable. What an awesome
Yeah,
journey you've had.
yeah, he did. I just believe that, when you get past, I know that a lot of people stop as well because they start to get hungry.
Mhm.
But, and I felt this as well early on in my juice fast. You get hungry, but it's not the hunger. It's not that. it's the parasites need feeding, because you'll start to crave foods that are not even healthy. But when you get past that, you realize, oh, it must have been the parasites, because I've seen them coming out in abundance.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I know.
In abundance. And when you see them, it's like you can't unsee them. And then you start to think, I don't ever want that food.
I think so many people don't realize that they have them too. Like, not to make
Yeah.
them get grossed out or think, oh my God, do I have parasites? But I dealt with that too. And I think it's just crazy. I think so many people have them, and it's so easy to get them and to keep them in you with the things you eat.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing that I think enemas can be good for, is removing those, because I never realized I had any until I did an enema. And I was trying to remove mucoid plaque, and then I saw them and I was like, this is disgusting. I can't believe it. Like, it was just crazy, right? And
Yeah.
one thing I want to say about enemas too, because we're talking about enemas too, I think if you're going to do enemas, they're good to do on a cleanse or something. I know people can run into trouble if they do them long term, like every day, and they can be addictive because you feel so empty and you feel so good when you do them. But it's also important to remember that they can clear out beneficial gut bacteria. So it's important to replenish that and include those foods like the sauerkraut, and olives are a good probiotic, other things like that, take a probiotic or whatever. But yeah, parasites, it's crazy. So are you still removing them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good for you sharing it, because it's not easy to share something like that. You know, I've never shared that I had them before, even on my channel, but it's wild, right?
You know what? For me, it's like I just don't care.
I love it. Yeah, I'm getting like that too.
Because ultimately I could save someone's life.
That's the thing, yeah.
And it's like the internet's the internet. In real life, I'm so happy that anything anyone has an opinion about, whether you're following my page or not, you've come across my page. I've had somebody come across my page and they're sending messages, like, then they shared it to their page and it's like, you shouldn't juice fast. Juice fast it will kill you, all this sort of stuff. But I'm just like, everyone's entitled to an opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with what I'm doing. What I share is what I share. And a lot of people are actually interested in what I share. So, that's it for me. But with the parasites, it's like, I would never have thought I had parasites in me before. I would have said, oh, I eat super clean, like I'm plant-based or I'm vegan, like there's nothing inside of me, like, and kind of walk with your head a little bit higher than everyone else that's eating meat. And it's like, when I was eating meat, I enjoyed eating meat. When I turned plant-based, I enjoy the plant-based lifestyle and the foods that I eat as well. So both sides, I enjoyed when I was in both sides. But it's like, just know it, like just seeing the parasites, it's just a wake-up call. It's just a real big wake-up call.
Yeah. For me, I never personally removed any when I was juicing, which was interesting. It was when I started doing enemas, but I started eating, I guess, anti-parasite foods without realizing too, like raw garlic, pumpkin seeds, these other foods. And I noticed like raw garlic was super powerful, and then doing enemas, getting them out. Yeah.
I think even with like the raw food, people still detox on raw foods. Like you can detox on raw food. Like you can detox on just eating fruit, or doing like 80-20 or whatever. There's so many rules out here, but do what feels right for you. But you can still detox while you're eating fruit. And I think that's the big thing to remember. Like there's no guide really. I think you just have to do what you have to do. And I feel like you just need to be in a space and put yourself in a space to listen and to understand yourself, because your way is not going to be the same as my way, and my way is not going to be the same as your way. But you're only going to know which way is right is when you try it.
It's such a great attitude.
So
I agree with you.
Yeah, but sorry, when you're consuming raw foods, like you're having the fruits, you'll still detox, but it's just a longer process of cleaning, because obviously you still got the fibers inside of you and it'll just take longer to clear your system out. But you'll still detox. It just takes longer. So juicing is just like the fast track way, like just to kickstart everything.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It really is.
Anything else you want to say? I mean, this has been so amazing talking to you. I think I've touched on mostly everything that I wanted to talk on with you. I mean, it's been great. You have so much information to share with us.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to ask you, what's your favorite raw meal? Because I know you have a lot of your raw food, right?
So many, yeah. So
Yeah.
when I first became raw about 5 years ago, I ate very simple. Like I just ate food in its natural state, right? Like the fruits
Hmm.
and the vegetables. The last year or two, though, I'm really into recipes, and I would probably say lately my favorite is a fully raw Christina Caesar salad. I love her Caesar
Okay.
salad,
Uh-huh.
and this other dressing by Raw Food Romance is a cashew red pepper dip. So lately, every
Hmm.
night I've been eating that with a veggie plate. This
Hmm.
cashew red pepper dip is so good. She just makes the most beautiful food. So
Hmm.
that and the Caesar lately, but I switch it up all the time. Like I eat the same
Hmm.
thing for a while, and then I get bored with it, and then I eat something
And
else.
then, yeah. Okay. What made you, be a raw plant-based person? Like, how did your transition start, and what was the reason behind it?
After I had my daughter, my first daughter, 8.5 years ago, I had so many
Hmm.
health problems after I had her. So I was having major digestive problems.
Hmm.
And like my digestive system was a total mess. I was constipated a lot of days or diarrhea and having just like yeast infections, UTIs, major anxiety, panic attacks. I was
Hmm.
just feeling terrible, right? I was a mess and I went to like 18 doctors. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. So
Hmm.
finally one doctor said, maybe you have celiac. And I was like, what's that? I went home and researched it. I realized it's like an intolerance to gluten, right? Basically an allergy to
Hmm.
gluten that makes your body react. So I cut gluten out of my diet then, and I felt so like brain fog had gone, so much brain fog had lifted. I felt so much better within a day. And then
Hmm.
that's when it really started with me. Then I removed dairy and my skin cleared up. I used to have really bad acne on my body.
Hmm.
And then it just went from there. But I was still eating animal products then. And I thought I was healthy because I would eat like salmon and chicken and salads, still smoothies, some gluten free bread products, things like that. But I still wasn't feeling amazing. And then one night I was reading about Dr. Sebi talking about living foods. And I just started reading, I think, from Marcus and Kara about the raw food diet. And I tried it. I thought, okay, I'll try this because I was all about trying everything to feel my best, right? Because I knew I could feel better. I knew like it's not natural for people's vision to deteriorate and people's bodies to fall apart, right? So I was thinking, despite what everyone thinks, like I know I can feel better. So I tried it, and honestly, I felt within 24 hours, I felt like, holy
Wow.
crap, like this is how I'm meant to feel. I did not know I could feel this good. I never felt this good on any high from any like
Hmm.
drug or drinking or
Hmm.
anything. I was like, this is crazy how good I feel. Even
Hmm.
my husband at the time, he was like, holy, like I could see a big difference in you. Like the first day, I just like came to life.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Amazing.
that's what happened. It's been the best thing to ever happen to me. It's just I love it.
It's so amazing. And would you say that your transition has changed anything around you? Like the people, have they started making healthy, like taking a healthier approach to their dietary, requirements? Or
Yeah, they definitely have it. I mean, people tell me constantly they're inspired by me, and I mean, when people around me in my home, they're like, "Thanks, I eat healthier because I'm around you," and they're
Mhm.
constantly messaging me and things like that. So that's amazing. I'm just so happy to be an inspiration in any way I can. Because if
Yeah.
somebody can feel as good as I feel, like that's amazing, you know?
And you can't even, it's crazy because you can't even explain how you feel. You just have to feel how you, like, you just have to feel it. There's no
Exactly.
words that can explain how good you feel. And you try and relate it to something else, but it's like, even what you're trying to relate it to, it doesn't compare.
Yeah, I
So you
agree.
rather just not say anything. So it's like you have to experience it for yourself. Try it out.
And I think some people can experience detox, or some people can have like major bloating right away and things like that. But I think a lot of times it's great if they can stick to it for a longer period, because fortunately I didn't experience detox, but a lot of people do. Sometimes
Mm,
I do. If I go on a cleanse, I get really bloated at the beginning. And I think a lot of
yeah,
people give up then. But if you stick
yeah.
to it and you get past all that, then you just feel
Mhm.
better than ever. Your body has to adjust when you're doing a new way of eating, and your gut has to change as well, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
because you can't. There's something not Robert Morse. John Rose says you can't step in the same body twice because
Mhm.
your body's always changing. And
Yeah.
you know when you hear "you are what you eat," I remember hearing it when growing up. You are what you eat, and I'm just like, yeah, yeah, right.
Me too.
Because you automatically think that we consume foods and we can still do certain things. So the foods that we're eating can't be that bad.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
what we think. But it's like you wouldn't put the wrong fuel in a car because your car's not going to move anywhere.
Exactly.
So although your body's still moving, can you imagine how much further you can go, like spiritually,
Exactly.
like how much higher you can get?
Mm-hmm.
And just a funny story. I went to this event a few weeks ago, and it was a health fair. So it's like loads of people selling their, products, skincare products, herbs, and there was like talks from different people. And I went there because they wanted me to talk about my juice fast. And there was a lady there that she does energy work, and she's like, "Oh, do you mind? I really want to read your energy." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What do you need me to do?" And she's like, "Oh, you just stand there." And you know those rods that you can get? I think people have them when they go to like in farms to find out where the water current is. And there's these rods, and they cross over when you reach a current.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that normally, as she walks closer to somebody with the rods, they normally cross over when she gets like maybe half, like where the bend is in the arm here, like your arms have to be straight out.
Yeah.
And she did it, yeah. As soon as she picked them up, she says, "Oh, make sure your phone's not in your pocket." So I put it on the side. As she took one step forward, and they crossed straight away.
Wow.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, this has never happened before. I've only known one person where it's actually got to their hand and then it crossed, but yours goes beyond the hands, like beyond the fingertips." And she was like, "Your aura is very, very strong."
Wow.
And then she did it again, and it was the same thing again. And she was like, "I'm so glad that you came here, because I was going to stop doing this." And it's almost like she was saying that she was just getting the same results. So she wasn't too sure if if it worked or not. And because I've come there and I've come with a different energy, she was like, "You've just confirmed to me that it works, and I'm going to continue doing my work." And then she done this other thing. She had like a dial, and then it's like a crystal on the dial, and it rotates, and she'll ask it questions, and no, that's it. It stays still at first. Then she'll ask questions, and then the last one was, mark where I am on the energy, like on the dial thing. It sounds a bit spooky, but it wasn't. There's so many people there.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then it was rotating, and it was at the highest level, which was a child, because a child has the most energy because they're so pure when they come out, right?
Mm.
And she was like, "I can't believe this. I can't believe this." And then I was like, "Well, I can't take the credit. It's the juices. It's all that live food." But there's just something about cleaning out, and it just feels different. It genuinely feels
It changes your aura. It really does. And you know what?
changes.
That just reminded me too. Like it really changes your mind and it really clears your mind, right? That's one of my favorite things about a cleanse is your mind becomes so quiet.
So quiet, crystal quiet. Like
Yeah.
even like before my juicing, I was meditating a lot, but throughout my juice fast, I stopped. And the deeper I got into my juice fast, the more I didn't feel ready. Like there's this feeling that came over me. It was just like I wasn't ready to meditate yet. It was very strong,
Mm-hmm.
and like mentally and spiritually, I wasn't ready. I think I was at a point where I was like heightened, but not even I could handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So only very later on, I started meditating again, and like my meditation has just been amazing. Manifestations, oh my goodness, they come in abundance.
Right?
Like I think of something, and bam, straight away.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm all about that and all about the law of attraction like that too. And it's like I really believe, like Rhonda Burns says that too, and I really believe that the quieter your mind, the faster you manifest, and you just manifest so quickly when your mind is quiet. And on a cleanse like this, too, like it's just one of the benefits because your mind quiets so much and you're manifesting just so much. It's amazing.
It's so amazing, and it's like, why would you want to stop? Like
Yeah.
it just gets better. Like every day I'm juicing, it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't start getting. It's like, where does it end?
Mm-hmm. I want
That's
to,
how I feel.
before I forget, sorry to change topic a little bit, because I know a lot of
Yeah.
people wonder how much this costs. So how much have you
Mhm.
roughly been spending like a week on juices, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, so in Great British pounds, I've spent around £50 a week,
Okay. Yeah, that's
and that £50 a week. Actually, no, it lasts me a little bit longer than a week. It probably lasts me about 8 days, 7, 8, 9 days. because I've been buying watermelon juice, like watermelon, sorry. But I have at least 7 liters a day now. So it's increased. And I think because I've been I'm clearing a lot of stuff out, I've got enough space for more stuff to come inside. But all in all, for the last, say for the, when I get to day 150, I would have spent probably about 800 pounds.
Okay. Yeah. Not bad.
So I don't know if it's good or bad, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's your health. And I don't think your health's got price tag.
I think it's the best investment, spending on your health. That's where I spend most of my money, is on my health and raw foods. And I think it's just totally worth it. And I don't feel bad. Like, I mean, I'm all about feeling good and the law of attraction. And I feel good when I buy good food. And if I were to buy bad food, or if I buy bad food for my kids, like, it makes me feel bad. So with spending a lot on raw foods, it doesn't make me feel bad. And I feel like I just attract more to me anyways. I mean,
yeah. And I think as well, like, ultimately, if you 850 might sound a lot to people, but it's like, if you end up in hospital, how much is your treatment going to be?
I know.
So it's just like, weighing it up. But I know it's like, for people that are wondering and thinking they can't do it, I know it sounds hard, but I had no intention of going this long. And truly, I'd say the first 3 or 4 days is the hardest, because the smell of food, if you're living with people that are still cooking food, that smell, you can taste the food, and it's like you just want it. So it's very important to prepare your juices, and that's why I always had juice readily available, so that when I smell it and I feel it, sip, I'm okay. But the first 3-4 days are the hardest, but then it just gets easier. Then before you know, it's like 7 days has gone by, 14 days has gone by. It goes so fast.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah. The first 3-4 days, that's important for people to know. That's the hardest. And then once you get through that, once you get through the first week, then you're feeling amazing.
Yeah. And I want to tell anyone that thinks, oh, like, will I feel amazing? Yeah, you will feel amazing. Like, I'm confirming it. I am confirming it. And I'm a big believer in, like, practice what you preach, because we can all say, oh, this is meant to be good, this is meant to be bad, but I'm someone that likes to try it out first before I tell someone, because then it comes across differently. You feel it, it feels different. So when I'm giving my experiences of things, it's how it is, because I've lived it. I'm still doing it now. I don't feel like going past 150 days is a chore. No way, it doesn't. If anything, I'm bothering other people, because they're like, how long are you going to go for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone else is concerned about me.
Yeah.
Then they're concerned about themselves.
Yeah.
And also, people should remember as well, like, people might give you advice that I've never juiced before. So you might be on your juicing journey and people are going to give you advice. But what you need to remember is, would you take nutritional advice from these people anyway in another capacity? Because these people are probably eating God knows whatever. Their health is probably compromised. Like, would you take advice from them? So when you've asked yourself that question, breathe deeply, meditate, and keep it moving, because it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. But I know that sometimes what people say weighs heavy, and it's just, making sure that you're in a space where you can speak to people that may have juiced fast before. For me, being on social media like Instagram has helped me a lot, because it's like, there's a lot of people that have been juicing, and there's a lot of people that have been juicing while I've been juicing, because I don't know anyone around me physically that have been juicing, although my family have started juicing ever since I've been juicing. You kind of feel like you're in this alone, and you're never alone. You just need to remember there's a community out here. And I always believe that we're all scattered around, Earth, because if it was all in one place, our reach wouldn't get as big. But because we're all scattered around, we're able to reach other people that are in our communities. So I might be able to help a lot of people where I'm from. You'll be able to help a lot of people where you're from. Because if it was all in the same place, it would be very hard.
You're right.
And I think that's why. So we're able to connect.
And that's awesome.
So yeah.
You're in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birmingham, if you've heard of it before.
Yeah. Well, I could talk to you for hours. I think you are so
Mhm.
incredible, and you just have the
Thank
best
you.
energy and the best vibe about you. I love talking to you,
Thank you.
honestly.
Thank
Um,
you very
but so I will ask you one more question. What,
sure.
if you don't mind sharing, if you want to share, I don't know if you even know the answer to this yet, but what do you
Mhm.
plan on breaking your fast with? Do you know yet?
Yeah. So when I break my fast, I'm gonna break it with dates. No, prunes, sorry. Prunes and dates similar. Prunes. So I'm gonna do the prune test.
Mhm,
So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna soak some prunes overnight.
mhm,
And then what you're meant to do the next day, you're meant to drink the prune juice and then eat the prunes. And prunes are like a laxative, so they're meant to go straight through. Now, they're meant to go straight through within a certain time period. It could be a couple of hours. If they don't, apparently it still means you've got work to do. If they do, it means you've successfully completed your cleaning your colon, and then it's going to take me about probably 9-10 days to actually transition back to eating foods if I want to start eating how I was or whatever. So for the first 3 days, I'm going to have one meal, which will be breakfast of juicy fruits. So it could be grapes, oranges, grapefruit, watermelon, all those sort of juicy fruits. Then I'd have the rest of the day consuming juices. Then days 4, 5, and 6, I'll have 2 fruit meals a day. And then I have, so breakfast and lunch will be exactly the same, juicy fruits. And then the rest will be juices.
mhm.
And then days 7, 8, 9, maybe 10, 2 fruit meals, and then one salad meal in the evening. Then I'd have that over the 3, 4 days. Then after that, that's when I can probably start eating whatever I fancy.
Yeah, you'll have to really ease your way back into it.
I'm like a baby again.
Yeah, to me, that's the hardest part. To me, it's way easier doing the fasting than it is like when you break the fast. You just want, once you start eating, you want to eat so much. And that's something I've
Yeah,
struggled with when I have juice cleansed before. I just want to eat
yeah.
like gourmet salad right away, all these fats, right? And it's like, no.
I think it's very important that you ask that question because there's people that have died from fasting and breaking their fast incorrectly, because breaking the fast is the most important part of the fast. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter if I've done 150 days. If I eat something bad and that first day I break it, might be game over. It
Yeah.
could actually be game over. I think I might do more damage than I've done. So I think that was important that you touched on that.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, you've been really successful at this. I'm sure you'll be very successful at breaking the fast as well.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you are awesome. So I encourage everyone to go check out Niall's Instagram page. And what are you doing coaching too?
Yeah, so at the moment, I'm just doing like 1 hour in-depth calls with anyone that wants to start a juice fast, anyone that may be on a juice fast and it's getting a bit hard for them, because I think it's very important to have a bit of a support network or have someone that you can kind of you know get a little bit of a budge from, just to keep going, or that transition to breaking the fast, or they might need some sort of advice on like any recommended herbs or anything that I'm doing. So they might have seen my journey and think, oh, I need to know a little bit more about that. I need to know this, or just that preparation for going into the juice fast, because I think it's very important to be, you want to know what you're doing
Hmm.
and not kind of going too blind, because I think that's where problems can occur. You
Yeah.
might be you might be doing things that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Even like kidney filtration, like if you don't get your kidneys filtering, you've got metabolic waste inside of your system, like intracellular waste that's just like stagnant. It's just there and you could be damaging yourself. So it's important. You might be detoxing too fast.
Hmm.
So I kind of got the answers for these things, but some people just don't know that that was even a thing until I say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
So experienced with this, right? It's perfect for someone to speak to you with coaching for this. Absolutely. Where can they find you if someone wants to talk to you about coaching? Where's the best place to?
Yeah, so if you go onto my Instagram account, which is, you're gonna put it in the link here, it's underscore NYSTRO underscore, and that stands for now you're starting to remember one. And then also I'm actually on YouTube as well, but the videos that I've put on YouTube is the videos from my Instagram stories, not stories, the lives that I do.
Mhm.
So it's just like for people that are on that come across my journey and then they go to Instagram. So yeah, Instagram mainly.
Yeah.
And you'll find the link in my bio and you just click it and then it'll be at the top. It will say a 1 hour in-depth call.
Okay. That's great. You're amazing. And I mean, you're so positive too, which is a good
Yeah,
quality for a coach to have and how it should be, right? You're so amazing. Honestly. I love
thank you.
talking to you today.
No, you are amazing too.
Thank you.
And I see what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing, and people are gonna see you. People are gonna continue to reach out to you. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I love it. I'm so passionate about the healthy life and raw living, and I love it.
Yeah, I think that's what we're here for, just to kind of help and share and anything that we learn to other people. So I think it's important
Yeah.
to have people like yourself.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Me too. Well,
thank
this
you.
has been great. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some value from this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up right now. Subscribe to
Hmm.
my channel so you don't miss more great videos just like this one. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Thank you.